I'm starting to lose track of how many cameras Insta360 can release each year. I have been testing the latest one, the X5, and on paper it didn't sound like a massive upgrade. But after spending a few weeks with it, I'm starting to find little things that are actually sort of big and that are making me consider upgrading. And my favorite place to review a 360 camera is
on a mountain. So let's do it.
So first things first, I bought myself an X4 last year mainly for my skiing and snowboarding videos. 360 cameras are by far the best way to capture skiing memories and all that stuff. They're super immersive, they look really cool, and they're just fun to use and edit. The new X5, just like the X4 that I bought, can film in 8K up to 30 frames per second or in 5.7K up to 60 frames per second. So those specs aren't changed, but the X5 now has a larger sensor and new image processing. Both of these factors contribute to noticeably better image quality. So here I have both of these cameras on the same selfie stick. Both of these clips are filmed in same modes, and you can tell that the footage is looking a lot more detailed. Edges of objects and things like trees in the background are just much sharper. And it's not really all about the details and sharpness. Color and just overall processing this year looks redefined and it looks much nicer. When using the X4, I often found that the sky would have this dark blob over it that seems to be mostly gone this year.
So the microphone housing for this camera has been completely redesigned, and it should perform better in more windy environments. Things like having it on a motorcycle or when you're out going skiing. You should get just better audio with more clarity and less wind noise. So just gonna bomb down a hill and see if that works.
Okay, so looking back at this footage, yeah, that sounds much cleaner. I think folks who are attaching these cameras onto vehicles and cars and motorcycles will enjoy this little hardware change. You should be able to get better engine noise than just wind. So as I've said earlier, I've mostly used these cameras for action sports or for getting just very specific shots only possible on a 360 camera. But every now and then I have tried using it for something else, and usually I'd walk away feeling pretty disappointed. This year I brought the X4 to CES, barely used it until I got to the LG Spooth, and as you can see, that footage is not great. It's noisy, the dynamic range is not good, the stitching, the stabilization is all suffering in low light. Insta360 is trying to fix some of that with the new mode called PureVideo. What it does is basically cranks up the post-processing, and that low light footage looks a lot cleaner with less noise, punchier color, and contrast. I tried it in many different scenarios, and each time it performed a lot better than normal video mode. Definitely an improvement over the X4, and that opens up more possibilities for you while using this camera. And lastly, this is the thing that I kind of just noticed, the X5 can also film in log. Lots of people, including myself, will be very excited about that. However, the log option only works in HDR for some reason. I did talk to Insta360 about it, and they say they will be looking to add log into other video modes later on too, so that's good news. For those people who film in HDR, you can now film 5.7K up to 60 frames per second, not 30, which has been the limitation for a couple of years now, since the X3. And that's almost it, at least when it comes to just image performance and overall quality. But there are some new things here worth going through as well. The first one has to do with repairability. So Insta360 has presumably made it easier to swap out the lenses just by letting you do that whole process yourself. And I said presumably because my kit actually didn't arrive on time, so I won't be able to show you the process. Hey, sorry, I have to jump in here for a minute. At that time when I recorded this video, I didn't actually get the replacement kit, but it's here now, so I can show you the process and tell you a little bit about it. The replacement kits cost $30 and you get one single lens. The process is super simple. You use this tool to unscrew the old lens, and you can pop it up, place in the new one, screw it back in, and you're good to go. Insta also says that the glass on these lenses is stronger than ever, so ideally you will not need a replacement kit at all, but I did get mine scratched up. It is a tiny little scratch, so it didn't show up in any of the clips. Battery life is also better, and the camera can also charge faster, but it does come at a cost. The battery has been slightly redesigned, which means you won't be able to use your old batteries in the new X5. I hate it when companies do that, and my reasoning this year is twofold. While I'm glad to see there are improvements year over year, it wasn't a pain point. Insta360 batteries were already good last year, and they didn't necessarily need an update. Plus, new batteries each year just add to the whole environmental cost too, so something to think about. The mobile app has been revamped to simplify some of the editing process. Overall, I think the app is really good and it has been for a while. This new update, I'm still trying to get used to it. Some icons aren't labeled and some features are sometimes grayed out when I feel like they shouldn't be. There's the new de-warp mode, which kind of helps you with lens distortion. Sometimes it turns on, sometimes it's off. It's a little confusing, but we'll get there. And that is all that is new with the Insta360 X5. It is a great 360 camera in a market that honestly doesn't have a whole lot of competition right now. There are some rumors lately floating around of DJI getting into this space with their own 360 camera. Meanwhile, GoPro is still expected to release its version of a new GoPro Max this year. Right now, Insta360 is basically running away with it. But I do have two little complaints about this camera, which I do think are important to mention. The first one is just the overall weight and the footprint of the camera. Both X5 and X4 are slightly larger and heavier than its predecessors, and you definitely feel it if you're putting a 360 camera on your helmet. Once I unboxed the X5, I immediately had a feeling that it was even heavier than last year, and I was kind of shocked to find out that the X4 and the X5 are exactly the same weight. The second complaint is the price. It is $550, which is $50 more this year. And I get it. Price increases are never fun and make upgrading decisions a lot more difficult. If you are thinking about upgrading, I'd recommend just thinking about what you need the most out of a 360 camera. If image quality is on top of your list like mine, that alone could be a reason enough for you to upgrade this year. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see me ski down a mountain more often, go subscribe to The Verge so I can expense my holidays. That's terrible. That's a joke. That's not how this works, by the way.